Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Anchorage Ice Tigers Graphic Order franchise mode here in NHL 23. So I am pre-recording this episode once again, but in last episode we had the season simulation. We finished second best in the entire league despite losing Zikov last offseason with a 53-23-6 record. And as you can see, we are going to be taking on the Vegas Golden Knights again in the first round for the third time in the last 4 seasons. Now, I feel like we have a bit of an upper hand this year because a lot of their players are getting older and dropping off, but they do have still a solid roster, I'd say. They did score more goals than us during the regular season, which is kind of a surprise because we actually had a pretty solid season. Avery Parrott nearly won the Art Ross, only finished 2 points back of the guy that did, but he did win the Maurice Richard for the first time in his career. And yeah, he just had a really good breakout year, and hopefully he continues to do that in the playoffs, because if he could do that in the playoffs, then we should be unstoppable almost. Also, Keith had a really good year, but then it kind of drops off production-wise. But, I mean, still really good depth scoring throughout this entire lineup, even with the loss of Zikov. And yeah, very excited to see what this team could end up doing in this playoff run. But once again, we need to be wary of our past. We've lost 3 straight times in the first round. And hopefully this time around we could find a way to get past that and past even the second round and beyond, because I feel like anything short of the Stanley Cup Finals the last few years has just been a massive disappointment, because this team went to the Stanley Cup Finals in their first ever playoff run, and then since then just has not been able to get back to the second round. But let me show you guys what Vegas's lines look like at this point, just in case you forget from last episode. But I feel like we should be able to beat them, but I mean, we need to contain their offense, basically, is the thing. They still have Jack Eichel, who's playing at 38, so he's definitely on the decline, but they still have young guys like Mangone, who's pretty good. Mostly everybody else other than Lupul, I think, on this forward core is kind of veteran-based. Even guys like Pettinen, who's a 75. Don't know why he's playing in their lineup, but maybe they have some sort of cap issues. But it's mostly a veteran-based team. And in this defensive core as well is not really that great of one. I mean, I have seen worser teams win in the first round with a better defensive core, or worser defensive core. So, and yeah, their goaltending is also taking a little bit of a hit. They don't have, I think it was UPL who was their goaltender a few years ago anymore. They do have Vladar though, and they have a 67 as a backup. So he's listed as an AHL fringe goaltender as well. So that's kind of funny. So I feel like this team definitely is not as good as they should be. They were good in the regular season in a lot of ways. Like, I will show you that again just in case you forget about that from last episode as well. But they had actually a lot of good statistics. Like, I'm really surprised they were able to get 50 wins on the season. They finished just behind us with 5 points back. But you can see their offense scored 321 goals this year, which is kind of a surprise. They did allow a lot more goals than us, though, this season because of that defensive core and their goaltending, I'm guessing. But you can see their power play was a little bit better, and their penalty kill was better than ours. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting first round. Definitely one I think that could go to 7 games, but hopefully Parrott could step up like he did during the regular season and win us some games, because he was an absolute unit this year. And he has been a playoff unit pretty much the most of the time we've had him since we drafted him. So anyways, let's get into this first round matchup. We have home ice advantage, which is nice, because last time we played these guys, I think we didn't have home ice advantage, I'm pretty sure. But we'll see if we're able to use that to our advantage and get to that second round. So here we go. First period of game 1 on home ice. Let's get her done, guys. Let's get her done. First period. And we're down 4-1 after 1. Maybe I should not have started Cox. So apparently Vegas' offense is continuing from the regular season, but yikes. Yikes and yikes. I don't think Cox is starting next game just based on this. He's probably already pulled, because 4 goals on 12 shots. Cox is in vintage format here. Arnold opened the scoring, which was good, but then Anderson answered with a power play goal. Miller scores. Pettinen and Nyquist score. Pettinen's at 75, I think I was just looking at. That is a terrible first period. Like, your fans are not going to like that, guys. We're on home ice, and you let in 4 goals in the first period. Yeah, I don't think Cox is going to start next game. I'll probably start Duncan or Taze or something like that. But I mean, maybe this team will be able to find a way to get back into these games, because sometimes when you're down by a lot after 1, your team starts to build back into the game in the second period. So who knows, still a lot of time left to get back into this game. Second period, 5-2. Doesn't help. Jarvis made it 5-1. Bouwmeester gets his goal with 5 seconds left. We're within 3 goals, but and now shooting him 24-20. But they have scored 5 goals on 20 shots, and Cox was still in net after that first period, which I don't understand why. But the coach made that decision. Okay, let's see what happens in this third period. See if we could get back into this game at all. Or are we going to lose this first game badly? Hey, there's a goal from Parrott, our 60-goal man. I don't think I've ever had a 60-goal score. Hartnell makes it 5-4. Is this a 6-5 game where we could come back in, maybe? Penalty kill. I have seen 6-5 comebacks before. Come on, boys. Oh, man, Go makes it 6-4. No, it's not going to be. God damn it, Cox. So, the first period basically loses us the game 7-4. Jeez, no defense whatsoever. So, Hartnell and Parrott trying to get us back in the game. But then that power play goal against definitely set the tone back to Vegas. Shots were 36-32 in favor of us at the end of that one, but we lose by 3 goals. Not very good. Not very good at all. So Hartnell from Keith and Zika, Bouwmeester from Parrott, Parrott from Jorgensen and Coley-Minen, and Hartnell from Parrott and Coley-Minen. So I think Parrott had like 3 or 4 points in that game, which is not a surprise based on how he did during the regular season. Let's see. Yeah, he had a 3-point night. Coley-Minen had 2 points. Hartnell had 2 goals. So some guys definitely stepped up. But then you have those minus players. Farrell -4, Wong -3, Darby -2, Vandenbush -2. Yikes. So our third line got completely shredded. And yeah, Cox was terrible. An .806 save percentage. So yeah, Cox definitely ain't getting the start next game. But Parrott and Hartnell, the first 2 stars in that loss. Just crazy. And then Anderson, the 3rd star. Yeah, we're going to make some adjustments here. Definitely going to go to Duncan, I think, next game. And if Duncan doesn't perform, maybe we'll go to Taze before we go back to Cox. Because Cox just does not seem like a playoff goalie. And it's probably because his overall is too high. I hate how goalies simulate in this game. Like an 84 should be doing a lot better than an 806. So Duncan will start. Are we going to make any other changes? Could make some other changes. That third line got shredded, was it? Or when I was that defensive pairing, right? Yeah, it was the defensive and that was a -4. Ooh. Trying to think of what I could do here. There's AHL defensemen that are probably, like, could play instead, but their OFDs is the only problem. Like, I could call up Eichel, but he's an OFD, and then we'd have 2 OFDs next to each other, which is not good. I would go back to that, but I'd put some -3 on the top 6. And then this wouldn't work either. I'd make it -3. There's not really much I could do with this defensive thing. I don't think. I mean, I could try Coley-Minen with Farrell, just so Farrell's playing with an absolute stud, basically. Because no offense to Harakala, Harakala's not a stud by comparison to Coley-Minen. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Try and balance it out a little bit. And then hopefully Duncan could be our playoff goaltender, because I don't think Cox is going to win us a Stanley Cup at this rate. Which means I would probably be okay with him getting qualified by a random team in the free agency at some point. But I don't think anybody's going to want to pay him as much as he wants. Okay, let's get into game number 2 and see if we could rebound from that terrible first game. And let's see if Duncan could keep the puck out in the net and be that playoff goalie for us. First period of game 2. Hey, we're up 1-0. We did not allow a single goal. That's a good way to start it off, as Boris Zikov scores a goal on the power play. Shots 12-8 in favor of us, so we're getting more shots than they are again, which is good. We just need to find a way to get some consistent offense and continue to play good defensively like we did in that first period. Second period, 5-1 us. Let's go. We're reversing what they did to us last game. They tied it up early on the power play, but Darby scores, Parrott scores, Keith scores, and Zikov again scores. So we have a defenseman that could get a hat trick in the playoffs, which is nuts. But all the big guys are stepping up, which is exactly what we need in this game. 5 goals on 26 shots. So we got completely hammered in the first game, and now we're coming out with a vengeance. Let's see what happens in this third period. Let's just lock it down, basically, and have his tie series headed to Vegas, because that's not a bad result. But I would prefer to be up 2-0, obviously, but, I mean, tied is better than being down 0-2. But yeah, definitely a good performance from our guys to rebound from this, and a good performance in net so far from Duncan. He's probably going to start next game as well. Hey, Parrott gets another goal late with 3 seconds left when there was no empty net to make it 6-1. And yeah, what a game. 38 shots to 27 at the end of it as well. Good defensive effort, good goaltending, good offense. Oh, whoa. There's a boarding major that they took in the first period. So we had a 5-minute power play at one point. So Zikov from Darby and Claxon, Darby from Wong and Jorgensen, Parrott from Keith and Kolemainen, Keith from Parrott and Hartnell, Zikov from LaRose and Harakala, and Parrott from Zikov and Keith. Seems like always the same guys pick up a ton of points. Keith, Zikov, and Parrott, all 3 points. So Parrott literally has 6 points in 2 games, I think. So at least he's doing what he did during the regular season because we need that. But the plus-minus much better on this team after that game. Only a couple of players that did not have any points, but that is to be expected. And yeah, Duncan was good. Duncan was good. 3 stars in that game. Boris Zikov, the defenseman, with 3 points. Parrott, the second star, with 3 points. And Derek Keith, the third star, with 3 points. I love the depth scoring on this team still. Like, even though we lost Zikov, the centerman, the team still manages to pick up offense, which is good. So yeah, that was definitely a good performance by Exchange. Like, look at that. Parrott's got 6 points in 2 games, 3 goals and 3 assists. This guy's on a different plane right now. And if he keeps on playing like that, we might have a good chance. We might have a good chance. Like, if he goes quiet, then our offense probably dries up, my guess. But we'll go back to Duncan for this game as well because he played good last game. We'll ride him until he has a terrible game. And then hopefully Cox, if he does get back into the lineup, hopefully he's a lot better than he was in Game 1. Here we go, Game 3. We are in Vegas now. Let's see if we could win some games on the road because those are always important in playoff stretches. Let's see what happens. First period, 1-1. I guess I'll take that. I mean, we give up a goal, but we get one back. So Boldy scores first for them, and then Darby scores for us. Shots are 9-5 in favor of Vegas. So this time around, they have the shot advantage. Can we find a way to get the lead in the second period and continue to play a little bit better defensively? We've only had 2 goals in our last 4 periods of play. So second period, 4-2 us. Let's go. Our offense is awesome. Moroza scores on Vladar, then Darby scores again. Ackerman scores to make it a 1-goal game, but then a late-ish goal from Wong makes it a 2-goal advantage. They're outshooting us 22-15, but we're up by 2 goals. Let's lock this one down, guys, in this third period, please. Penalty kill early on. We kill it off. Nicely done. Penalty kill again. Nicely done. It's good that we're killing off those power plays because they had a really good power play during the regular season, so definitely showing that our team is actually a lot better than theirs, and Parrott makes it 5-2. Parrott's been a monster, an absolute unit. And Hartnell gets an empty netter, and we are going to win 6-2 in Vegas, and we have taken a 2-1 series lead, and our offense has been great since losing so badly in Game 1. So Darby from Jorgensen and Duncan. So Duncan even gets an assist, so the goaltenders are even picking up points. So yeah, we're definitely going to leave Cox as the backup right now. Rosa from Vandenbush and Bomeister, Darby from Claxon, Wong from Farrell and Kolemainen, Parrott from Keith, and Hartnell from Vandenbush and Farrell. Hopefully we have a good second round if we get there, though. We can't count Vegas out yet, though. Even though we're only up by 1 in this series, we can't count them out. Almost everybody on the team had a point in that one. Jeez. Everybody except for like the 4th line, basically, in the top 6 pairing. But honestly, everybody on this team was plus, except for 3 players, and that's the 4th line. That's pretty impressive. But they don't get a lot of ice time. And yeah, Duncan was good again. 941 save percentage. Love to see it. Darby the first star, Duncan the second star, and Ackerman the third star. Duncan's been a bit of a revelation because we let him go last offseason, or not last offseason, the offseason before. He was still a free agent at the beginning of the last season, so we signed him, and then we brought him back again for this season. So he's been a revelation. He might want a lot of money this offseason if he ends up being a good goaltender throughout this playoffs, but still he's been definitely a better goaltender so far in this playoff run than Cox was. And Cox is still going to be scratched going into game number 4, just because Cox has just been terrible. Like, his playoff numbers in general have not been good the last few years. He hasn't been good since 2033, basically. And his last really good playoffs was his first ever playoffs. He hasn't been good since then. It's like once the goaltender reaches 84 overall, they play like crap in the playoffs or something. Okay, Duncan, let's see if you can get us that 3-1 series lead. We've had 3-1 series leads before in the playoffs, and I don't feel safe with them, so we need to get still 2 more wins. Don't think about being up in the series, just think about getting the next few games. Come on, boys. Let's keep that offense rolling. Let's keep that offense rolling. First period of Game 4, and it's scoreless. I would definitely take that. I mean, it's much better defensive periods than we've had in the past. Like, Game 1, that was terrible first period. But this period, we played good defensively again. It definitely says that our line pairings are a lot better than they were, and our goaltending is a lot better than it was. Shots are 8-7 in favor of Vegas after 1 second period. 2-1 Vegas. They scored the first 2 goals, which is not great. But Farrell at least pulls us within 1 goal, and the shots are even at 19 apiece. So let's see if we could find a way to tie this game up in the third period and get it at least to overtime. Or maybe get 2 goals and go ahead. That'd be nice too. But let's see what happens in this third period. Come on, boys. And they score a goal immediately into the third to make it 3-1. That's not good. Penalty kill. It's a long penalty kill, and they get a power play goal. Oh, now we're playing bad defensively again. Yeah, I think we'll go back to Cox for next game, or we could try Taze. I might try Taze, to be honest. Yeah, this is a terrible game for Duncan. Maybe he's just playing too much. I don't blame him, really, because after like a while of playing and you're not used to it, you probably get tired. So, yeah, the only goal, Farrell from Zikov. Our offense was nowhere, our goaltending was not great, and our defensive play wasn't great, so kind of a little bit inconsistent so far this playoff run, but hopefully we can get back to where we were when we scored 6 goals in back-to-back games. That was our worst offensive game of this round, so and yeah, Parrott was nowhere, so hopefully Parrott gets back to scoring goals again. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to give Coxton that a chance. I don't want to scratch Duncan, but I am going to scratch Duncan for now. And we're going to give Taze the opportunity as the starting goalie for a game. He has not played at all this year, which is not great. So he might be a little bit cold. But I would rather him go in and give it a chance than Cox, I think. And then if Taze loses, we'll go back to Cox for a game. If Cox loses, then obviously the series is over. But I'd rather Duncan being our starting goalie for the playoffs than Cox, I think, at this rate. But let's see what Taze could do. See if Taze could give us a 3-2 series lead with a win on home ice. That'd be great. That would be great. Come on, guys. Let's get back to where we were, or else we might have to make some line adjustments again. First period of game number 5, and it's 1-1. I will take that. I guess they scored a power play goal early on, but then Walzer scored for us, which is good to see Walzer scoring because he's not been that great of a player. He's been inconsistent, I should say. Shots 10-8 in favor of us after the 1 as well. Can we get the lead in the second period? Second period, 3-2 Vegas. God damn it. They score 2 goals, Nyquist and Boldy. Claxton gets us back within 1, which is huge. But the shots are now 21-18 in favor of Vegas. Oh, this is not good. We're down by a goal again going into the third. Can we tie this game up, guys? We do not want to lose to Vegas in the first round again, please. And they score early into the third. Power play for us right back. Can we get it right back? No, we cannot. Yeah, I'm going back to Cox next game, I think. And making some line adjustments. All of a sudden, we're not scoring enough and we're giving up too much. I've seen this story so many times in this series, it's ridiculous. If we could somehow get it to a Game 7, I'll be happy, but I do not feel safe now that we're down 3-2 in the series. Like, both teams have been flip-flopping on who's winning games. Walzer from Coley Mine and Claxton from Hartnell in Derby. Yeah, let's make some line adjustments, and also we'll go back to Cox and see if he has it in him to get us a win and get us to a Game 7. I don't know if I would play him for Game 7, but yeah, it's been a really weird series so far. Parrott's only had 1 point in his last few games as well, so he's kind of drying up, which means we might need to make some line adjustments for that top line. Maybe. So yeah, we'll go to Cox and we'll take Taze out. Duncan's going to be back in as the backup. And then what do we want to do here? Claxton's got 3 points. Farrell has 2 points. But Claxton's -2. So let's try flipping the 2 of them a bit. And then defensively, we'll go back to our top pairing that we had before. And we'll go back to Harrical and Farrell. I think, yeah. I would go to like that, but it would be a -3 on the top 6, which isn't good, so. Do I want to roll with this? I think so. That makes it the -1, though. I mean, the -1's not terrible. Give LaRose some time since Van Den Busch is more of a grinder. Van Den Busch actually has 2 assists, though. LaRose has 1 assist. And let's try LaRose up there for something different. I really don't know what this team needs in order to win 2 straight games, but we'll do anything we can, really. Nobody I could really call up either at the moment, I don't think. Unless it's a defenseman, but Okay, let's get into Game 6, see if we could keep this alive, or are we going to have another disappointing first-round exit? It started off pretty good. Well, I mean, it started off terribly in this first round, but then we bounced back with 2 really good games. Like, we're showing flashes of being a really good team, but we need to be more consistent. Because we had 16 goals in our first 3 games, and now in the last 2 games, we only have 3 goals, and we've given up 10. So let's see if we could find a way to win 2 straight games here. Real-time simulation, Game 6. Let's see if we could not go out in the first round again. This is against the defending Stanley Cup champion as well, so we need to find a way to somehow beat them. We had a 5-on-3, but we didn't capitalize. That's not good. Because usually Parrot's a power play machine, and he didn't score there, which is not good. Come on, guys. Let's get that first goal. Let's go, Darby. Darby's been good in this first round. Glad I gave him that extension. Jarvis gets it right back, though, on Cox. And then we get it right back. It's Parrot. He hadn't scored in a while, so that's good to see Parrot score. And Parrot usually scores in the playoffs. Normally we win games, I think. So it'd be good if that is the case in this one. Shots 12-6 in favor of us after 1, but Cox has not been that great so far in this game. Let's get some more insurance here in the second period if possible. Come on, boys. Come on, guys. Let's get that next one. Halfway through the second period, still 1-goal lead, and Mangone ties it up. God damn it, Cox. Can you actually stop a puck, please? Because we're out shooting them, and now he gives up the lead. Yeah, Cox is not a good goaltender. Like, I almost just want to let him go to free agency at this point. Because he doesn't even do anything for this team at all. And we're now down 3-2 going into the third. Shots are 20-17 in favor of us, but we've allowed 3 goals on 17 shots. Maybe I should have went back to Duncan. Let's see what happens in this third period, see if we could tie this game up and force a Game 7, or are we going to lose in 6 games in the first round to Vegas? This would be our 3rd time losing to them in the last 4 years. We unfortunately, or we kill off that penalty, that's good. Final few minutes here, let's go down to 4 times. Come on, guys. Let's make it a little bit more dramatic. Come on, guys. Big boys. Jorgensen hasn't scored really at all either. Wall scores on Cox, and that's going to do it. We're going to be a first-round exit for the 4th consecutive season. After a good season, again, we're a first-round exit. That makes no sense whatsoever. I'm really not understanding this game's logic at all, but unfortunately, we lose to a lower-seeded team again. Darby from Kolymainen, Parrot from Zhukov and Hartnell, and then this team gives up 3 straight unanswered goals because Cox is not good. Like, what are you supposed to... Like, you're an 84 overall, and you're putting up an 846 save percentage. And, like, a 407 goals against average. Like, it's not... No problems with the rest of this team, in a sense, with the offensive production we had in a couple games, but everybody went completely dry in the last few games as well. Like, there's so many inconsistencies. Like, I would rather have missed the playoffs in that sense, but it is what it is. Like, somehow we lose to a team with that bad of a defensive core compared to us. Like, I don't really know what the case is. Like, what do I have to do to make this team win? Like, we win face-offs and stuff like that. Like, it just... Not in that game, I guess, but... Normally we win face-offs and stuff, but... We don't produce. Like, I feel like this team's cursed, almost. Yeah, it really sucks. God damn it. I thought we had a better chance this year. Vegas knocking us out 3 times, though, in the last few years is really annoying. Let's take a look at these player stats. Parrot, 8 points in 6 games. He was great, obviously, during the regular season and playoffs. He was a +7. Hartnell, 6 points. Was good. Keith was good. Claxton was -3. Long was not really that great after 30 goals in the regular season, I think. Farrell, not really that good. Cassian was quiet, but okay defensively. Darby was solid. Jorgensen was really quiet. The captain had no goals and only 3 assists in 6 games. Yeah, that contract we gave him is starting to look a little bit iffy. Vandenbush 2 assists in 6 games. Walzer 1 goal. LaRose 1 assist. Defensively, Zhikov and Kolymynen did their part. Kolymynen especially, he was a +9. But Bomeister was only 2 points. Farrell 1 point. Moroza 1 point. Heracallum 1 point. Like, Moroza might end up leaving the team this offseason as well, which is not good. Duncan was good. And Taze was not good. I don't know why I put in Taze in that one game. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, because he was not good at all. And then Cox, absolutely tragic. Like, it's like, which one of these goalies is that actual good goaltender? Oh, look, it's the one that's down here at the bottom. And then Duncan, 79 overall. Taze, 79. And they're posting way better numbers. Well, not Taze necessarily, but like, Cox was absolutely tragic. And Duncan even picked up an assist in the playoffs. Like, god damn. I don't really know what to do with this team at all. Like, I don't know what this team needs to win a Stanley Cup. Like, I mean, at least Avery Parrott was great this year. But aside from that, we have another first-round exit. Let's see. Dallas was knocked out in the first round, so Biggle's not going to get a cup. And the Rangers were knocked out in the first round, which means no cup for Zhikov, unfortunately, either. That sucks. I was hoping that one of them would win a Stanley Cup if we didn't. So, let's see who ends up winning the Stanley Cup. Watch it be Vegas again. That repeats somehow with that team. And no, it wasn't this time around, actually. It was New Jersey. And Lehigh Valley wins the AHL. So New Jersey is the Stanley Cup champions in 2035. Who did they beat out in the Stanley Cup Finals? The Jets. Let's take a look at what the roster looks like, because I want to take a look at rosters that win the Stanley Cup as well, just for fun. So let's see. New Jersey. Any former players? Probably not. Nobody I recognize so far. Yeah, nobody I recognize on this team. Interesting. So there is that. Let's take a look at the awards. At least we know we have a Richard winner this year. So the Stanley Cup, the New Jersey Devils. Anaheim won the President's Trophy. New Jersey Winnipeg Cup Finals. Vihicola wins the Art Ross, but it almost went to Parrott. Very close to. There's Parrott with the Hart this year. So Parrott actually wins another award too. I didn't really expect him to win the Hart too. But he was the most valuable player by a large margin. So there you go, Parrott. Very happy with you to win some awards. Too bad you didn't get a Stanley Cup as well. Quinn Hughes, the Norris. Zegras, the Lady Byng. Barlow, the Calder. Jack Hughes, the Conn Smythe winner. Shogard, the Vezina, like what I was expecting. And he also wins the Jennings. Hedin wins the Masterton for Boston. Zinger, the Adams for the New York Rangers. Niemanen wins the Selke like I was expecting. Parrott wins the Ted Lindsay as well, and Parrott wins the Richard. So Parrott won 3 individual awards, but he doesn't get the Stanley Cup this year. Oh, like, a Stanley Cup would have definitely capped off a great season for him, but it didn't happen. Utter disappointment with this team. Let's continue assimilating up to the draft lottery results and all that stuff. Not that we have a draft lottery pick, but still. Florida has the first overall pick, followed by St. Louis, which they got actually from San Jose. So San Jose giving up another lottery pick, which is funny. LA, St. Louis, and Seattle. So St. Louis has 2 picks in the top 5. Jeez. Talk about a lucky team. It might be a good draft class for them too. Who knows? Retired player-wise, Barkov's the best player to retire, so Jack Eichel didn't retire again, which kind of sucks. Especially if we play Vegas again next year. If we make the playoffs. Tuck did retire, though. Yeah, some decent players. Not too focused on the retirement classes anyways, because none of them are our players, but still. Boom. Coaching-wise, did we lose any coaches? No. Oh, we lost somebody in the AHL, Ryan Zanetti. Don't know who he is. Let's continue simulating, and let's take a look at our contracts, our progress reports, and the draft class, and that'll be it for this episode. So progress report wise, what do we get for growth? A lot of statistical probably with most of these guys. Wait, who had that giant jump up? Oh, it was Keith. A lot of statistical though for him and some natural. What else we got here? Nobody really. Wow, Darby didn't really develop at all. So he might end up being a career second liner. Maybe we give a chance to somebody like Eichel or Danner next year, which means maybe Mrose is gone for sure. Cox, statistical drop off, which makes sense because he's not good. And Duncan didn't really do anything. Let's see, we got Canone up to a 76. Koskinen is still a 70. Damn, I was hoping better for him. But he had a really solid year in the AHL as a rookie. 927 save percentage. Jeez. I mean, our AHL team's pretty good, but still. That's a really good rookie season from him. Denny, the low elite offensive defenseman, I think, as well. He's developed a lot. That's really great to see. 73 at 19 as well. Frank's still a 70. What else we got here? Svoboda is only a 74. Letang, okay. Burns, who we drafted in the 7th round, I think. Yeah, he was a 7th rounder. He's up to a 65 at 19. Not bad. And Bobkov's up to a 66 at 19. So some of our low top sixes are growing a little bit, which is good. DeMarchi's up to a 63. Let's go. He is one of those low elite power forwards that might develop actually into being an NHLer. At this rate, he might be. Hopefully he's up to like a 70 something by next season. Hagos is 69. Yeah, so we're getting good development in our system, which is great. Sabrin, the enforcer's up to a 68 at 22. I don't know if he's going to make it, but you never know. Clark, who was our first rounder, is a 63 at 19. Acton's up to a 69. Interesting. And Reinhardt, the low top six, is up to a 76. And just had a pretty good year in the AHL. Nice. Not bad in terms of progress reports. Let's take a look at that contract situation. See who's up for renewal. So we still have all our RFAs like Coley Minen and stuff like that, but Coley Minen, he's a UFA if we give him one more year as an RFA. So we'd have to give him a big contract in order to not have to worry about UFA stuff, but he's going to want maybe a shit ton of money. So we might end up losing him next offseason, to be honest, if I qualify him. Hartnell, on the other hand, has RFA status for another 2 years, which is good. And same with Wong, he's in RFA for quite a while still. Harakala, I believe, has like 1 or 2 years left of the RFA status. Yeah, only like 2 more seasons, I think. And then Farrell, I think, is a UFA soon too. Yeah, he's only got 1 more year of it. Oh man, more problems ahead, since a lot of these guys are returning to UFAs soon. Rosa wants a lot of money. He's probably not going to be able to get that, so we might end up losing him for sure. I don't think I'm going to bring back Farrell. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to bring him back. He's also a pending UFA. Yeah, this team's going to fall apart a little bit more, it looks like, but it is what it is. And then, yeah, Cox as a goaltender wants still 6.5. And you go up to 8 years, he wants 15.4. For that type of playoff performance, no way. Duncan, we could definitely still bring him back. Again, he's not wanting too much at all. And then Canone might be an NHL goalie soon, which is nice. So there's that. Let's take a quick look at the draft class just to see if there's any good prospects out there that we could get. But what pick do we have in this year's draft? The 26th overall pick, yeah, since we had a good regular season. That's not good. Probably not going to find anything huge there, but you never know. Let's see, 26. Any good prospects? Not really. Some medium top 6 Ds. That's not good. Like, these guys should be top 4s, but they're top 6. Yikes. Kudobin, 4 years out. Makes me think this guy might be okay. I'm going to pin him. He's a power forward, which is something we need. So, I am going to pin him. He might be something we take. 4 years out for this guy. He's an offensive defenseman, maybe. This guy's listed as a bust. Bolig. De Silva. Any good potential players? There's a low elite in Roberts. 4 years out, but a weakness in character, I think it said. So we'll pin him anyways, because he's low elite. This guy's listed as a gem, and looks like a really good goaltender that's 1 year out. Well, if we want to find a replacement for Cox right away, Vyacheslav Novikov, he might be a medium elite goalie as well, though, which is eh. But this goalie is like almost NHL ready out of the draft. He would get to play in the AHL right away, which means we'd have to probably let go of one of our goaltenders that we have, because we have a lot of them. Like probably like try and like we'd probably trade Taze to a seventh round pick and then trade away that 7th rounder and never use it. But Novikov could be something for sure if we want to get another goalie. Franzen's 3 years out, might be okay. There's another low lead gem, Wingrowski. Geez, this might be an okay draft. Some low leads, which is always nice. We also have Bure. Yeah, like this draft might have a lot of low leads in later rounds. There's even top 4 supposed to go in the 2nd round. That's better than the top 6 Ds in the 1st round. Just kind of weird. Any other potential players I could pin? Boulder Reese is like a 9th overall pick, so we're not going to get that guy. Let's see. We already pinned a few of these guys. This guy might be a good shooter. We already pinned you. Any low leads still for like the 7th round or beyond? But yeah, this might be a good draft to help our team out a lot. Another gem that's supposed to go 194th overall and looks really good. 2 years away, and he's 19. Tommy Lucic. Yeah, that guy's definitely going to get drafted in the 5th round or something for us. There is a lot of good options out here to help fill out our team, which is nice. Yeah, I like that. So there is that, and that's going to do it, guys, for this episode of our Anchorage Ice Tigers Draft to Glory franchise mode. So in next episode, we'll take it to another full off-season. We'll get in a lot of new good prospects, hopefully, and hopefully those are the type of guys that could help fill out our team into being a competitive team in the next few years again, because I don't think we're going to get past the 1st round at this rate, because we keep losing players, and we also don't get really that much better in terms of the 1st round performances, especially from our goaltending. So you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.